Hi, welcome to my channel, Endurance Sweat. Or if you're a subscriber, welcome back. In this video, I'll be going over my top 10 symptoms of a Zwift addiction. It's a lighthearted review, and I'd like to know which symptoms you think are associated with the Zwift addiction. So please leave your comments to this video. At the end of the video, I'll be going over some suggestions for a Zwift addiction rehab. So stay tuned for those. Okay, let's get right to it. Number 10, Zwift website distractions. When we're not riding or running on Zwift, why? We're reading and watching videos about Zwift. So my number 10 symptom is Zwift website distractions. And oh, by the way, I've just read that ZwiftHub.com is shutting down at the end of April. Too bad, because it's been a really great website to track badge achievements. Okay, now let's go on to number 9. Number 9, Volcano Vertigo. There's an achievement badge warmed up for 5 times around the volcano circuit, and a hothead badge for 10 laps. And then for 25 laps, you get the on fire badge. Now, if someone does an Imperial Century riding around the volcano circuit 40 times, why, they're sure to get vertigo and my fictitious burnt out badge, and surely showing signs of a Zwift addiction. So number 9, Volcano Vertigo. Here's my number 8, Ride On Rush. You've got all 3 Ride On achievement badges. You're popular for 10, you're famous for 30, and bigger than Jency for 100. But the real measure of a Zwift addiction is that every time one receives a Ride On, it brings on a sense of euphoria. And one measures the success or failure of every ride just by the number of ride-ons received. So number 8 is Ride On Rush. Someone's gotten their 100 clicks badge and no big deal badge for riding 100 kilometers and riding an Imperial Century or 100 miles. Just because someone's gotten those 2 badges, well, that's probably not a sign of a Zwift addiction. But if someone rides the Uber Pretzel already at 128 kilometers and then goes on to complete an Imperial Century of 160 kilometers, and definitely if somebody rides the PRL full at 173 kilometers, but then insists on pushing themselves to 200 kilometers, why, that's definitely a sign of a Zwift addiction, and I guess I'm guilty. So number 7 is Never Enough. Number 6, Insomnia. Someone wakes up in the middle of the night, and the first thing they do is check their companion app so that they can give ride-ons to Zwifters on the other side of the world. If someone's doing that, well, they've got it bad. Number 6 is Insomnia. And here's number 5, Sky High. There's the Avid Climber badge for 5 times up Alpe d'Huez, and the Masochist badge for 25 times up Alpe d'Huez. I'm still going for that one. But then there's the Everested badge for riding over 29,000 feet or over 8,000 meters in one ride. If someone's up to that, they may definitely have a Zwift addiction. And now for my number 4 symptom, XP obsession. Someone just can't wait to start riding on Zwift again to earn every route achievement badge. And then they become obsessed with leveling up. It's easy to do. Leveling up is a great feeling. But take note, it only takes 1 or 2 or 3,000 XP points to level up in the beginning. But the number of XP points increases substantially to move up to succeeding levels. It takes 250,000 XP points to move up to level 37, and by that time you're really hooked. And then it takes another 250,000 points to get up to level 50. So my number 4 is XP obsession. And now we're getting deep into my list. Number 3, night sweats. You get up in the middle of the night or stay up really late, say to 3 a.m., so you can do a ride with Zwifters on the other side of the world. If someone's doing that, like me, we've probably got a Zwift addiction. My number 3, night sweats. Now I'm really getting close to the end of my list. Number 2, compulsive Zwifting. There are 3 Zwift badges for riding on consecutive days. Habitual, 3 days in a row. Addicted, 7 days in a row. Well, that's probably not really addicted. And riding from home, 14 days in a row. And now I'm proposing a 4th achievement badge for riding on consecutive days. Junkie. For 30 days, or 3 months, or 1 year without missing a day riding or running on Zwift. Thank goodness I'm not in that territory, because then I'd be a real Zwift junkie. So number 2, compulsive Zwifting. And finally, here's my number 1 symptom of a Zwift addiction. I call it fantasy versus reality. It's a warm and sunny day outside, and the opportunity comes up to ride with friends. But someone chooses instead to hop on their trainer inside. Well, they've got a Zwift addiction. There's nothing better than riding outside with your buddies. So my number 1, fantasy versus reality. This video wouldn't be complete without some suggestions for a Zwift addiction rehab. Schedule 1 day a week to spend with family and friends. No riding or running on Zwift, no checking the Zwift companion app, or surfing the web on Zwift-related websites. And how about trying out Trainer Road? You can still get a good workout, but without the addicting gamification elements that are part and parcel of Zwift. And for goodness sake, plan at least 1 day to get outside, especially now with the improving weather. And if someone's really committed to Zwift, they might think about becoming a ride leader or sweep. And that way the focus is on others and not on those Zwift addicting features. I hope you found my top 10 symptoms of a Zwift addiction to be, well, entertaining at least. I'd really like to learn which symptoms you think are associated with the Zwift addiction and which symptoms you might have. So leave comments on the video. To be honest, reading your comments is the best part of making these videos. And I do try to respond to every comment. So it's a way for us to carry on a dialogue. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to my channel, Endurance Sweat. And while you're at it, click on the notification bell. Okay, until next time, train hard and have fun.